Florian Plettenberg has stated that Viktor Gyokeres is allowed to leave Sporting next summer for 60 to 70 million euros. Arsenal are the favourites to sign him, and this story has gone absolutely bonkers on social media. Alex Crook has also come out and said Brentford have slapped a £50 million asking price on 25-year-old Brian and Mbeumo, and it is attracting the attention of Arsenal, Liverpool, and Newcastle. Huge transfer stories coming out. The transfer January window is only a couple of months away. We're in November nearly already. It's Halloween tomorrow. The League Cup's on tonight. There is so much football coming our way, and I'm buzzing for it. Hopefully, Tottenham can beat City tonight because we are desperate for that trophy. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We are closing in on 30,000 subscribers, which genuinely is bonkers to say. It's a big up to every single one of you. This channel's not even a year old yet, and we are 35 subscribers off 29,200. And make sure you subscribe. 90% of you haven't that watch the channel. Now we'll start with the Alex Crook story coming out from Transfer News Live. Now, Brian Mbeumo is a fantastic player. Let me just start by saying that. This guy is a top player. Had a really strong start to the Premier League season. And I think predominantly he's a right winger. Maybe there's an argument that he could play through the middle as a number 9. He has got a really good return so far in an Brentford shirt. He's been there since 2019. His contract expires 2026. Main position, of course, is a right wing, can play as a second striker, centre forward. But £50 million. Now, of course, they have Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. Arsenal, Liverpool have Mohamed Salah. So Newcastle probably is the team that need him the most. However, they have got some financial strengths. They've been the richest club in the world, but they can't go out there and spend the money like they want to due to FFP and other rules and regulations. Now, if Arsenal permanently sign Raheem Sterling, this kind of shuts this down. But you also got to think he can play on the left. And in my opinion, he would be a better addition to Arsenal than a Sterling. Arsenal and Liverpool both need to rest and rotate Mohamed Salah and Bukayo Saka. Probably more on the end of Bukayo Saka because he's getting a few niggles and a few little knocks here or there. So far, Brian Mbeumo has started off the season really, really good. He's got 100 goal contributions in 210 games in a Brentford shirt. He's got 51 goal contributions in 107 in the Premier League, which is a very strong return. Everyone said that would he be able to do it now that Tony has obviously left this season? He's had a really good start to the Premier League. Genuinely, he's been one of the best players in the league. He's got 9 games, 8 goals. Throughout his career this season, throughout this season, he's played 3 games as a centre forward, 4 games as a right winger, and 2 games as a right mid. And he did play 1 game as a cam, and that was against Manchester United. £50 million, I think, would be a very good addition to either of these clubs. I think there's more chance Arsenal or Liverpool signing than Newcastle, purely because they can offer Champions League football. And I just think he would be a really strong addition. Of course, Liverpool brought in Federico Chiesa. Arsenal brought in Raheem Sterling. Both teams want to upgrade their forward line. And speaking of upgrading the forward line, Florian Plettenberg broke some news that Viktor Gyokeres is allowed to leave Sporting next summer for 60 to 70 million euros, as revealed in our transfer update show. A transfer in the summer is planned. And he starts off by saying, was told Manchester United is currently not in the race. And of course, Ruben Amorim will be the new Manchester United head coach. In England, the 4 clubs mentioned are particularly active for him: Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Well, I only think Manchester City are going to sign Viktor Gyokeres if Erling Haaland leaves, which is very unlikely next summer. Does maybe Darwin Núñez or Jota leave Liverpool? I think that's also slightly unlikely, which means Chelsea and Arsenal are the 2 teams left. Now, Chelsea for me, are a centre-back, a goalkeeper, and a striker away from really challenging for this league title. Arsenal, however, for me, would be the perfect fit for a player of Viktor Gyokeres' quality. He is absolutely unbelievable. Genuinely one of the best strikers in Europe right now. Really, really top player. You look at his record in the Sporting shirt, it is unbelievable. Genuinely, it is. He's 27 years of age, so he's literally in the peak of his powers. Sorry, 26 years of age, about to be 27. This year so far, he's got one game in the Allianz Cup with 2 goals, 12 goals and 1 assist in 9 games in Liga Portugal, 2 goals in 3 games in the Champions League, 1 assist in 1 game in the Taça de Portugal, and 2 assists in 1 game in the Super Taça Portugal Cup. His record in a Sporting Lisbon shirt is absolutely phenomenal, both in Liga Portugal, in the Europa League, and of course, in the Champions League. He honestly is an absolute monster. One of the best players in that league at the moment. You've also got Inacio in Sporting as well. I'm sure Man United will snap him up now that Ruben's gone there. This is his record throughout his career. 60 goal contributions in 116 for Coventry. He's very good. Look at that record at Sporting. Look at that record. That's nearly 80 goal contributions. Nearly 80 goal contributions in 65 games. It's absolutely ridiculous, the numbers. Then if you scroll down to look at the numbers in a bit more isolation, 2 goals in 3 games in the Champions League, 7 GA in 9 in the Europa League. So he can do it in a European competition. He's allowed to leave Sporting next summer for 60 to 70 million euros. That would be the signing of the summer, whoever signs this guy, in my opinion, unless a Florian Wirtz or a Vinny Jr. or a Palmer or a Foden leaves, or Saka. But he fits the deal perfectly for what Arsenal need. Having Kai Havertz and Viktor Gyokeres as your striking options, they'd have the best striker options in arguably Europe if they have those two. You know, I know Haaland, Man City have got Haaland, but they don't really have anyone else who can. I know Foden can play in a false 9, but of course, getting rid of Julian Alvarez has changed their attacking options to a degree. When you look at his numbers per 90, they are absolutely ridiculous. Like, we're talking about a player that is a robot. Is an absolute robot. Look at these numbers. Non-penalty XG, top 2% of all the players in Europe. Total shots, top 10%. Assists, top 6%. Non-penalty goals, top 1%. Shooting, creating actions, top 1%. Progressive carries, successful take-ons, touch in the attacking penalty area, and progressive passes received, top 1%. The only players he's being linked to is Luis Suarez, Brian Bobby. None of these players are having replica numbers to Troy Parrott's had a very good start to the Eredivisie. Brian Bobby's had a very good start to the Eredivisie. Santiago Jimenez as well, good striker, but they're not on this guy's level. They are not on this guy's level. When you talk about how long has he got left on his contract, he's just turned 26. Birthday is June the 4th for anyone interested. His contract expires June 30th, 2028. So that would be, I mean, I said in the summer when Coventry and Sporting negotiated this guy's sell-on clause down from 15% to 5%, they were always anticipating a sale, 100%. They were always anticipating a sale. Now, this guy, I genuinely believe, would win Arsenal the league. Arsenal this season have kind of changed their approach to a more defensive-minded, counter-attacking, tactical approach. But the difference between them, Liverpool, and Manchester City is very, very, very slim. The same Arsenal side that is being criticised for not scoring enough goals, the same Arsenal side that is being criticised for being washed, not good enough to win the title, has the same amount of goals as Liverpool, has one more goal than Villa, one more goal than Brighton, one less than Brentford, Tottenham, and two less than Chelsea, three less than City. You put a Viktor Gyokeres in this football club and they will dominate. 100%. You've also got the likes of Brian and Mbeumo. I think he'd be a top player for Arsenal. And if you think they could sign both of these theoretically for 50 million plus 70 million euros, so that's like 120 million pounds for both of them, which if they had the attacking options of Mbeumo, Gyokeres, Havertz, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, and Trossard, it's a wrap. It is an absolute wrap. Genuinely, it really is. It's going to be an interesting January transfer window. Do Arsenal move in for him early? Do Arsenal look at Brian and Mbeumo early? You know, I genuinely think right now the Viktor Gyokeres story is going to be, you know, the most talked about story throughout the summer. You know, and when you break down Viktor Gyokeres' shooting stats, the only player, to my knowledge, in Europe that has similar, if not better numbers per 90 in terms of shots on goal or a goal contribution action is Erling Haaland, who is an absolute robot. Do Arsenal need a robot of their own? Also, in the same team as Viktor Gyokeres in Sweden, another player being heavily linked to who is not up for negotiating a new contract is Alexander Isak. Now, this story broke last week or so that Alexander Isak does not want to sign a new contract. It was reported that 180, maybe £200,000 a week contract has been put on the table for an Alexander Isak. And he hasn't had the best of starts to the season. He's got 2 goals, one against Tottenham, one against Chelsea, and 1 assist in 7 Premier League games. You know, he did miss 4 games, 1 against Slovakia, 1 against Estonia, 1 against City, and 1 against Everton with a broken toe. But he does have 37 goals in 75 games with 6 assists. His record at Sociedad, at Dortmund, his record at Sociedad is good as well. I personally think Gyokeres would be a better option because I don't necessarily think Gyokeres is a much better player than Isak. Well, what Viktor Gyokeres can offer, which Alexander Isak, is availability. He's missed 4 games already this season, 2 for club, 2 for country. You know, but would be a fantastic addition wherever he goes. It's important to note that he does still have a number of years. I think he's still got 3, maybe 4 years left on his contract. I think it expires, 2028. So the same sort of time as Gyokeres. But in the last year or so, Gyokeres' numbers have just gone like that, whereas Isak's have slowly dropped down a little bit. That being said, he did have a very good start to not the best start to last season, but still finished on around 20 league goals. It's going to be an interesting summer January window coming up. Do Arsenal go out there and break the bank for a Viktor Gyokeres? Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Brian and Mbeumo would be a good addition to Arsenal? Of course, it's the EFL Cup tonight, so there'll be a number of match reactions out. Tottenham City, Man United, Leicester, Newcastle, Chelsea, Brighton, Liverpool, and of course, Preston versus Arsenal. So make sure you're there. Make sure you have subscribed, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching. I am out.